Hey y'all, Chad Cook and Chad Cook Band here. Just out here in my backyard enjoying the time I get home during the week, drinking a little Aquafina and get that out of here. I ain't drinking that. I'm drinking ice cold Miller Lite, and I'm also listening to one of my favorite country stations, Texas Homegrown Radio. Y'all do me and the boys a favor. Call up Jody Lee, send him an email, send him a message, ask him to play Chad Cook Band's new stuff. We love you guys. We'll see you down the road.
It's the morning ride. Live from the Rockstar Ranch at Texas Homegrown Studios, it's the morning ride.
Hey, I'm Corey Kent, and you're on the morning ride with the one and only Jody Lee.
Who?
Hey everybody, I'm Terry McBride here on the morning ride.
Name sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Who?
Mike Jones. Dang it.
It's the morning
I'm
ride.
showing my age here.
It's the morning ride here on Texas Homegrown Radio. Live from the Rockstar Ranch in Texas Homegrown Studios.
We fended off them CIA people.
Turns out that happened to me when I moved the studio to Twisted J there for a while. I was making fun of like government stuff.
Yeah.
And I was joking about that. And that's before I had the windows blacked out back then.
Right.
And so I was joking about that. Like, hey, if the black SUVs pull in, And all of a sudden this one pulls in, and then another one, then another one. And I freaked myself out. And I put the cameras on and everything. And it turns out there's a bunch of soccer moms having a meeting up there. some event. I was like, whew.
They just all had cartel-like vehicles or CIA-like vehicles.
Yeah, they all drive the black SUVs.
Blacked out SUVs, yeah.
Oh, man. I scared myself. Worried myself on that one. And here I am holding my gun coffee.
That's for...
Not good if they come busting through the door,
Depends on how hot the coffee is. Throw it right in their eyeballs.
So during the break, I was thinking about, Sunny Day. He always has all these weird sayings and stuff they said back in the day. So Wild Will sent me something. Oh, Will Barrett.
Nice.
And he said this might make good topic on the radio. I think he's right. I got to pull it up here again. My phone just moved. I had it all saved, ready to go, but does that.
Time to time.
Time to time.
Technology.
Hook up to the Wi-Fi here.
To the Wi-Fi.
To the Wi-Fi. There he is.
Get on the Wi-Fi.
But yeah, Will sent this to me, and I think it's a pretty good topic because I love old stuff, right? Things from the old days. But you wonder where some sayings come from.
Oh yeah.
So he sent me this deal I thought was pretty cool. Let's see here we go. So it says people used to urine to tan animal skins.
Okay.
They used the urine to do that.
And
so
brain.
families used to all pee in a pot, and then once a day it was taken and sold to the tannery.
What?
Yeah, and if you had to do this to survive, people said you were piss poor because you were making money off your urine.
Wow.
But worse than that were the really poor folk who couldn't afford a pot to pee in. That's where the saying "didn't have a pot to piss in" came from.
Wow.
They're so poor they don't even have a pot to piss in. That came because they didn't even have a pot to take down to the taxidermist.
That's interesting.
Right?
What?
Yeah.
Makes sense now.
Here's some more interesting facts. These are like from the 1500s.
Okay.
Most people got married in June because they took their yearly bath in May. And they still smelled pretty good by June, so that's why they got married. But if they did start to smell, that's why the brides would carry a bouquet of flowers, was to hide the body odor. And that's why still today brides have a bouquet at a wedding.
Okay.
Never knew that.
And
isn't that interesting?
So that makes me wonder, like, is it like the reason that she threw the bouquet to everyone else afterwards? She's like, ha ha.
Now don't need it. You're stuck with me. It don't matter if I smell. We're married now. How about this one? Baths consisted of a big tub filled with hot water. The man of the house had the privilege of the nice clean water. Then the other sons and men. Then the women, and finally the children. Last of all was the babies. So by the time the water was for the babies, it was so dirty you could actually lose somebody in it. That's where the saying come from, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
What?
Yeah, how crazy is that?
That's messed up, man.
Times have changed.
Yeah.
Everything is reversed now.
Right? Wow. That's,
Can you imagine?
It's that's probably why people didn't live very long back then.
It's also why they were...
imagine actually... get
Yeah.
that bath water in your mouth.
Gil said, ew. That's why I didn't do this segment at the first. I mean, I figure everybody's already had their breakfast by now, but
Right.
these are real things of where sayings come from.
That's nuts, man.
Back in the 1500s, a lot of houses had thatched roofs,
Yeah.
and they didn't have any wood underneath. Well, it was the only place for animals to get that was warm, so all the cats and other small animals lived in the roof. Well, when it rained, it became slippery, and sometimes animals would slip and fall off the roof. That's where the saying, it's raining cats and dogs, came from.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It says, there was nothing to stop things from falling into the house either. This posed a real problem in the bedroom, where bugs and other droppings could mess up your nice clean bed. That's where they came up with the bed with a big post and a sheet hung over the top, the canopy beds.
Wow. Okay.
Keep stuff from falling out through the roof on top of you while you're sleeping.
Gross.
The floor was dirt, only the wealthy had something other than dirt. Hence the saying dirt poor, because the floor was dirt.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
I never knew any of that stuff.
It says, as winter wore on, they added more thresh until when you opened the door, it would all start slipping outside. So they put a piece of wood placed in the entryway. That's where the term a threshold came from.
Huh.
To hold the thresh in.
Okay. Not to be confused with thrush.
It's crazy, man. There's
Yeah.
a whole bunch of these, but I didn't know that's where those sayings came from.
Wow. That is interesting. I've wondered about that before. Things that make you go, huh?
Yeah. Bread was divided according to status.
Okay.
Workers got the burnt bottom. The family got the middle, and the gas got the top, the upper crust. Get it? The upper crust?
Wow.
Yeah. I never thought about slicing bread that way, though. Wouldn't you
No.
just slice through from the top to the bottom?
I mean, I guess they didn't. That's why, nobody could figure out sliced bread back then, Which way do you slice it? Do we make sandwiches? Do we just eat the bread? I think they dipped it in soup.
It says lead cups were used to drink ale or whiskey.
Well, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, the combination would sometimes knock the imbibbers out for a couple of days. Someone walking along the road would take them for dead and prepare them for burial. They were laid down on the kitchen table for a couple of days, and the family would gather around and eat and drink and wait to see if they would wake up. That's where the term holding awake come from.
Wow. Okay.
To see if they would wake up.
Wow, all right.
Guess they didn't know how to tell if they were dead or not.
You don't say. Yeah, it's a wonder that humanity survived.
Right? Yeah, how do you not know if somebody's dead or not?
I mean,
Oh, he was just passed out from the lead cups and
it's just them lead cups. He busted out the lead cups. You know it's gonna get crazy tonight. Why lead cups?
It says, England is old and small, and the local folks started running out of places to bury people. So they would dig up coffins and would take the bones to a bone house and then reuse the grave. When reopening these coffins, 1 out of 25 coffins were found to have scratch marks on the inside, and they realized they had been burying people that were alive.
What?
So they would tie a string on the wrist of the corpse, lead it through the coffin and up through the ground, and tie it to a bell. Someone would have to sit out there in the graveyard all night, the graveyard shift, to listen for the bell. Thus, someone would be saved by the bell or considered a dead ringer.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So there's some interesting facts where things came from.
Wow, that is interesting.
Think how good we got it, though. Like, if you think
Yeah.
you got it bad now, go read some of that stuff of how people used to live.
No joke, man.
Oh, man.
Think of that.
It's rough.
That is rough.
And I wonder how, now it makes me think of all the other sayings. Like, where did that come from? There's a reason that they say that.
I'm getting suspicious of everything.
People are getting soft. We're getting soft these days.
Go, man. I'll tell you what. My great grandfather, freaking, he went off to Canada, joined the military, and then in Canada, so he'd go to war before he was of age, and then switched over.
Because they wouldn't let him here?
Yeah.
So he went to Canada?
And then he switched over when he got over there because he was too young. And so he switched over once he got over there, and then he did battle, and then he got shot in the neck. Bullet was lodged in his spine, and so they couldn't remove it. So he lived that way for the rest of his life and lived till he was 98 years old, smoking cigarettes and drinking whiskey every day with a bullet lodged in his spine.
I seen an old lady the other day. They interviewed her on the news, and they asked her how she had lived so long. She was like 101 or something. And she says, well, I'll drink 2 Dr. Peppers every day. And my doctor told me that it was going to kill me. But my doctor ended up getting old and dying, and I had to get me a new doctor. I guess he should have drank some of them Dr. Peppers.
That's funny. Have you ever had hot Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, man, that used to be a thing.
Is it good?
When I was a kid, they had machines at the convenience stores.
You're kidding
When you
me.
get sick, it was the best. But Dublin Dr. Pepper really was the best because they used that imperial sugar.
Yeah.
And it was just, I guess when it got hot, it made it like a syrup, so
Okay.
it'd coat your throat.
Is that right?
But you used to go in and you could buy a cup of hot Dr. Pepper. It was hot like coffee. Yeah.
And that was good? It tastes good?
Yeah, especially you pour some whiskey in there. It's
Really?
like a hot toddy.
Is that where that comes from?
Yeah, hot toddies work.
Wow, okay.
People used to fake being sick to get a hot toddy out of it. Edna said, like Granny in her jug. Yeah, like on the Beverly Hills Billies.
Okay.
Yeah, that was. You think about that. Like there was guys going around selling tonic, and it was just whiskey. I think pretty much.
This was,
Get this magical tonic, can make you feel better. Yeah, make you feel better. You
right,
drink
right.
enough of it.
I might not have been as sick as I let on. My hypocrisy.
I've not yet begun to defile myself. Tia says she makes the best hot toddies. We'll be the judge of that. No. Send those to Texas Homegrown Radio at.
So Dublin Dr. Pepper still makes.
No, well, they make sodas, but they can't do. So they got in a lawsuit with Dr. Pepper.
Right, but they got one called a Red Cola now. The Dublin Bottling Works.
It tastes pretty close to it.
I mean, I think it is the same recipe.
But see, they had their own recipe.
Right.
And
Proprietary.
but it was like a big deal, man. People came from all over the world to Dublin, Texas, which is right here next to us. Mm-hmm. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
Like they had all this.
And the plant supported a lot of people out here, right?
Yeah, and they still have a museum over there. You can go see all the old Dr. Pepper memorabilia. But it was different kind. Like it was a whole different deal. And then when the lawsuit happened, like people revolted. Like you could drive through Dublin and everybody had set their cases of Dr. Pepper out on the curb and said, we're not drinking it anymore. Come and get it for free. But then there was people selling bottles for a lot of money on eBay. So then they were like, oh, maybe we should hang on to these, and started pulling them back off the curb.
Right.
But it was a big ordeal.
Wow.
Yeah, but they had their own recipe. But the what happened was they could only sell it in a certain area. But people wanted it so much they started branching out a little further than they were supposed to. And so Dr. Pepper was like, nah, you can't do that. And lawsuit, now they don't make it. But they have their own Dublin Bottling Works now. It's good sodas.
It's great soda, yeah.
They use the real sugar. It's It's got a lot of sugar in it.
I'm convinced that their red cola is the same as the Dr. Pepper because it tastes just
They
like
probably just changed a little bit. It's like
one thing.
like vanilla ice.
It's got that in it.
It's different. Theirs goes doon 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 doon. Mine goes doon 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 doon. It's still one of the funniest videos.
Makes it different.
I can't believe he actually did that interview on MTV back in the day.
It makes it different. It's got the tss in it.
Oh, look at there. Michael Sparger, he says, I sure miss Jeb picking the guitar.
Shoot, I accidentally left Pearl at the house.
I guess you could pick mine
Where is she?
in the house. We'll take a break and we'll come back.
Sounds good.
You talked us into it, Michael. We're
I'll
going
do
to
some
take
more picking.
Tia says, my son Owen wants to know if y'all say hello to him. Yeah. Hi,
Hey,
Owen.
how's it going, Owen?
What's up, Owen?
What's up, bud?
I like that.
Come
Owen,
on.
that's a good man name.
Yeah,
Owen.
Owen.
See, my parents, I'm still mad about it.
Jody.
Yeah.
It's good.
I bring it. It really starts bothering me around my birthday time every year. Since my birthday's Thursday, I'll probably bring it up to him. But like, why didn't you give me a man name?
Jody Lee's a man name.
My dad said it's like a boy named Sue. He was trying to make me tough. I don't believe it. But then he also told me, I found out that he wanted to name me Hunter, and my mom won the battle, of course, and I got named Jody. And I'm like, I could have been named Hunter. That's way cooler. I love camo.
At least your name's not Jebward.
Yours isn't either. All right, stick around. We're going to talk Jeb into playing a tune for you in the next break. We got one more segment coming your way. It's the Morning Ride right here on Texas Homegrown Radio, live from the Rockstar Ranch at Texas Homegrown Studios.
Get into it.
Thank you to the A-Team for hanging out with us again this morning.
Oh, yeah.